And then, yeah, I got you. I understand.
10 seconds. All right. And we are back here, folks, for the second half of Clarion as they take on IUP here in the, well, I want to say one of the closing matches here of the PSAC soccer season here. Mike Friend with you alongside me, Matt Catrillo. Here's we take a look at Matt. We have your keys to the game here of Clarion, what they need to do to win this game as they sit right now. They are down 1-0.
Well, first, Mike, the first one was saucy defense. You know, IUP obviously a little bit more effective offensively. They have a lot of speed, as we saw in that first half, outscoring their opponents in the first half 12-7, and they outscored they outscored Clarion 1-0 in the first half. So, and Laura Sossel's done the job so far with 9 saves. IUP though with 10 shots on goal, and defensively though cannot give the ball away like they did in the first half because it led to a legitimate of a couple of their offensive chances for IUP. Second was King Me, and we talked about how today would be a good chess match between the two coaches of IUP and Clarion. I think Coach Eden's winning that battle right now, especially late in the first half. IUP won the first part of the first half, and Clarion won the second part, but I think Clarion had something going there that they just obviously couldn't finish. A couple of their offensive chances really only led to 4 shots on goal in that last 15 minutes. So they had IUP on their heels, and I think if they can come out and dictate the second half offensive possession a little bit, they can tie this game and then go from there. And then thirdly was play loose. You know, with the way we know what the playoff stakes are like right now. Huge game for Clarion. If they win this game today, they jump over IUP in the standings. IUP's got 13 points. Clarion's got 12 points. Both teams battling. East Stroudsburg has got the 8th and final playoff spot in Shippensburg. They're both 8 and 7 points behind them, respectively. So a win here today puts them ahead of IUP, but also gives Clarion the most amount of points they've had in quite some time here in school history. So that'll be big as well. And then with Cassandra Soares coming back, as we talked about in the top of the broadcast for Tuesday's game, adding an extra scoring threat for them, along with Max Stover and Liz Ventura, I think that will really help this team as they try and at least get a attempt at getting a playoff spot.
And we look forward here. We look, as you mentioned here, IUP really the first, I'm going to say 30 minutes of this game, really dominated. That's when they got their first goal, was about 10 minutes in. And Clarion then must have flipped a switch or somebody said something that they really started taking up.
It's Coach Eaton moving everybody around.
Coach Eaton really moving everybody around. And again, that's something we also alluded to. Coach Eaton really switching positions, putting players in different positions. We saw him move, Liz Ventura to the outside from the mid center field position, and just things like that. And really, Coach Eaton playing, again, as you and I said, kind of winning the chess match right now. The big difference is those shots on goal between the Crimson Hawks and the Golden Eagles, and you have that stat there for us.
Yeah, it's 10-4 right now in favor of IUP, and like I said, Mike, a lot of those came off of all the Clarion giveaways they had in the first half. So if Clarion can limit those and then, like I said, dictate the offensive possession to begin the second half, then Clarion will have a good chance to tie this game and maybe even try and win the game here, if not win it in overtime.
And really, the one thing you have to think about in the minds of Clarion, they really haven't been able to get much going. They've had a few chances and haven't been able to capitalize on those, quite obviously. But the frustration factor that might start creeping into the minds of the players here on either side, because IUP really probably came into this game expecting to score 2 or 3 goals fairly quickly.
Well, they should have in the first half.
And they should have.
Clarion, this game should not be as close as it is right now with all the chances that Clarion gave IUP with all the giveaways. This should be at least a 3 or 4 goal game right now in favor of the Crimson Hawks, but Clarion was able to escape from that, and they have a chance here to tie the game, if not win it here in regulation. If not, tie the game and send it into overtime and see what happens.
And here, IUP will take possession on the opening whistle here as we get underway for our second half. And Clarion coming out playing very aggressive here, as it looks as though Coach Eaton's pretty much stuck with the same lines as he had before. Backfield, Spencer, Harsh, Lawson, and it looks as though he's moved Kat Warner back into the back line here. midfield and forwards. He's still got Molly Schultz, the freshman, in the game. Mackenzie Stover, Nikita Bonnell, who got the start. Liz Ventura, Stephanie Sikora, who came in, and Jordan Barr, who looks as though she's moved up to midfield and is kind of switching back and forth with Kat Warner, who's playing what position. And a shot there, and really that is streaking down the far side. There is Brittany Coons. She takes a cross on goal, goes wide over Laura Saucel, and is saved there all alone by Kristen Zerby. Zerby looking for somebody to shoot to, working on Kat Warner, and Kat Warner really doing a good job shutting her down on defense, and now double teamed there by Barr and Warner, and the ball goes to Stover off an IUP player and will be thrown in here for the Golden Eagles.
And that's one player, Mike, that Clarion looked to get going here in the second half. Mackenzie Stover, been one of the top goal scorers for Clarion this year. Didn't see a whole lot in the first half. Had a couple of chances here and there, most notably off the two corner kicks and the Liz Ventura nice cross that she had late in the first half. So Mackenzie Stover would be someone to look out for offensively for Clarion here in the second half.
And Clarion right now, at least in the initial goings, doing a really good job shifting as Fabian has a shot there, tries to get across, but goes off the foot of Meg Lawson. And Laura Saucel almost got beat again. If Meg Lawson did not get a piece of that ball, it would have been an easy goal for Kirsten Zerby. She had her man beat, and Laura Saucel didn't even know where she was.
And I think Meg Lawson was just right place, right time, Mike. And Fabian's cross just went off the foot of Meg Lawson and went out of bounds. So a lucky break right there for Clarion defensively.
And corner kick incoming here. And it goes off the head of that, was Anna Kate DePaolo and goes wide of the goal. And we have a replay there. Beautiful cross in. DePaolo gets enough of a head on to get it on towards the goal, but just didn't have enough direction off the head shot there for the Crimson Hawks. And a poor pass there, Matt, that was Kat Warner. She's looking for Alyssa Spencer, but just a poor pass there, and that could have turned into a IUP opportunity there as Fabian couldn't get around Meg Lawson. Meg Lawson did a good job of shielding her off the ball there and letting it just roll into Laura Saucel for her to be able to clear it here. But just, again, poor passes really being the Achilles heel for the Golden Eagles.
But still, Mike, Meg Lawson still was unable to clear the ball out. And when you're heavily pressured like that by Tanya Fabian, somebody who's obviously been very dangerous for IUP in this game here today, got to find a way to clear the ball out a lot more quicker than what Meg Lawson did right there.
And IUP will take possession as Lawson battles with Fabian again. And that has been a great battle all day. Fabian and Lawson going back and forth there as Schultz drives in. Stover almost gets a foot on it, and we'll have a foul there on Stover as she took that Kelly Jacobson to the ground there as they've been battling. Again, another great battle all night there. Really didn't look like Stover got that much of.
I think the ball, what happened, Mike, it was just an awkward placement. Mackenzie Stover trying to battle with the Kelly Jacobson, and Jacobson just kind of tripped on herself, but I think because Mackenzie Stover actually stepped on her by accident, probably inadvertently,
got
the call.
And the kick there, and now Molly Schultz really doing a good job of battling the ball away from Fabian and Grzinski of IUP there. And Nikita Bonnell really made them rush right there. She's been playing incredibly well in that forward zone there today. And ball goes out, and we'll have a throw in there on the far sideline by Jordan Barr. But going back to what Nikita Bonnell's been able to do, she's played aggressive, and she has really caused a headache for Nicole Miller, Caitlin Kaminsky, Brittany Coons, the back line of this IUP team. And the ball goes out. We will have another throw in here for the Golden Eagles. But, again, it's just somebody who has worked their way into the starting lineup here as Bonnell, and it's just great to see that she is really playing and earning her time here as Steph Sikora will chase that ball down and battle against, and Molly Schultz will take it.
Not a good decision right there by Schultz. I mean, she nearly cornered herself, and then a bad pass to Alyssa Spencer, and now IUP's back the other way.
And Fabian finds Zerby, and Zerby driving in, and she was looking for Coons. Coons will trap the ball down there in that far corner. Drive one in, goes off the crossbar, and Spencer not able to clear it, and the ball comes right to Tanya Fabian, goes over the goal. Poor decision there by Alyssa Spencer not being able to clear it as the ball. Laura Stossel had the ball, went off the crossbar, tried to reconnect, and Alyssa Spencer just popped that ball right up in the air, and I think she might have gotten just a piece of it to redirect the Fabian kick, but the Fabian kick went way high.
That's another issue for Clarion here today, Mike. They're not settling the ball well, and Alyssa Spencer, when you're down 1-on-2, basically, in favor of IUP, got to be able to settle the ball quickly and just clear it out no matter where it goes. You can't pop it up in the air, especially towards Tanya Fabian, who's killed your defense here in this game here today, and that led to yet another dangerous scoring chance for IUP.
And Clarion will take possession now on a throw-in and just knocked out of bounds by IUP. But again, Tanya Fabian, and since she's come to the game, Kristen Zerby has really caused a headache for that back line. We were talking about Bonnell causing a headache for the Crimson Hawks. It isn't as though Clarion's back line has been without headaches and woes themselves today.
Yeah, it's been Zerby, it's been Krasinski, it's been Fabian, and Caitlin Kaminsky, too, has the only goal for IUP today. It's been all those players for IUP have really give Clarion some tough times back defensively.
And again, Fabian steals the ball off Molly Schultz, and Schultz really having a hard time there. And there's a 3-on-1 opportunity there.
Great job by Kat Warner to come back and plate that up, and J-Bar was right there at the same time, too, or else that would have been a 3-on-1 opportunity for IUP because Casey Harsh came up a little bit too far to try and take the ball away.
And it basically was those three players we mentioned. It was Fabian, it was Zerby, and on the far side, Coons there had Meg Lawson, and Meg Lawson was just trying to get turned around, figure out where the ball was. But again, Kat Warner, really a great job coming back. Jordan Barr as well, coming back to the aid of their teammate. And
you see Kat Warner also too, Mike. Sorry, Mike. You see her too also playing on the outside. So again, the
shot there by, and Coons looking for a shot there. Fabian crossed it in. Thought Coons was going to get a shot off there, but a great play by Alyssa Spencer to clear the ball out there. And Matt, just like you said.
Entering the game for IUP is number 21, Tori Picker.
And coming into the game is Tori.
And entering the game for Clarion is number 16, Alyssa Katz.
Coming into the game for IUP is Tori Picker again coming out. There is Haley Emmerich, those two traded originally. And then coming out, Mackenzie Stover getting a break here as Alyssa Katz, who did not get the start today, comes in for the Golden Eagles. So both coaches here about 10 minutes into the game starting to make some changes as starts spitting rain out there a little bit there, Matt, as we're looking out here. And nice header by Spencer. Great job by Sikora to be able to clear that out.
And actually, an interesting call right here for personnel change for Coach Eden, that Mackenzie Stover was actually taken out of the game because now you're relying on Steph Sikora and Alyssa Katz to be your main, and Liz Ventura now and Nikita Bonnell to be your main guys up front to try and get some scoring opportunities, which they've done the job, especially Liz Ventura and Nikita Bonnell. And Steph Sikora's had one here and there too, but a little bit surprised that Mackenzie Stover was taken out this early.
And driving in right now is Grzinski. Grzinski finds a wide open Coons, but we get a whistle and an offsides call. Coons just a step or two offsides here, and really she almost got wide open and had a free shot on Laura Stossel there. Poor defense there by Clarion.
Yeah, lucky break again for Clarion, Mike, and also too, Molly Schultz having a tough time in the middle.
And Grzinski, again, just several times, 3 times that I've counted in the past, about 5 minutes, just taking the ball off Schultz's foot. Schultz only a freshman, so the experience will come with age here.
And Alexa Ream is coming in, one of 3 players coming in for Clarion. You see Molly Schultz coming out, so a smart decision here by Coach Eden.
Alexa Ream coming out, Molly Schultz coming out. Coming into the game, also Kelly Antonucci and Katie Chambers getting some playing time here today. So
and Les Ventura comes out as well, and Steph Sikora. So interesting approach of what Coach Eden's trying to do, relying on a couple of different players that I guess that haven't had the opportunity to be relied on so far. They have their chance now to make a name for themselves.
And ball cleared out by Stossel. Not a great clear, but effective enough as Picker gets ahead on it and tries to clear it in there. Ball will clear out here. Chambers battling for the ball. Really muscling off the ball there. That was Kelly Jacobson. So that matchup we've seen all night between, it was originally Blackstone and then, Bonnell and, Jacobson really coming down, and now Coach Eaton going with a little bit taller players in there. Is a shot taken by Brittany Coons, again, right into the arms of Laura Saucel. And Matt, they've taken several shots here, that is the Crimson Hawks, and they've gone right into the arms. It seems as though they're not being able to get the ball up right into really direction on the ball when they're making shots.
Yeah, IUP, again, with all the scoring chances and shot on goals that they've had, pretty much dominating Clarion on the stat sheet, they haven't taken care of their opportunities either. And there was another one right there by Brittany Coons, able to create some space for herself, get a solid shot on goal, but again, it's right into the hands of Laura Saucel.
And pass there taken by the Crimson Hawks there. Again, a little bit of miscommunication there between Chambers and Bonnell, as players Bonnell's been moved back more to the midfield from the forward position there, and Clarion will take possession.
And now Jordan Barr has been moved to outside back now.
And Alyssa Katz trying to cross something in, looking for somebody. Katie Chambers has it. She finds Bonnell. Bonnell looking for somebody. Clears out to Alexa Ream, and Ream fires one a little bit wide, not the best shot Ream could have taken there. A little bit of an awkward stance Ream had when she took that shot, but still Clarion get with possession.
Well, that time, Mike, there was just one too many passes. I think Bonnell was right at the 18-yard line, had a little bit of room to work with. Should have just tried to get a shot on goal right there, except she tried to create something there with Alexa Ream, and then Ream, like you said, took that awkward shot on goal.
And substitution for IUP, Kristen Zerby coming out. She's played most of the first half here in the first 10 plus minutes here. And Kelsey Fisher, who started the game for the Crimson Hawks, coming back in here to that game. And we will have believe they're going to say this is a throw in here for the Golden Eagles.
And Mike, throwing it in for Alyssa Spencer. And I talked about on the top of the broadcast, it'd be interesting to see if she would be able to get some more offensive opportunities. And so far, she's been relatively quiet. Coaching has kept her more on the defensive end of the ball, which I'm actually a little bit surprised because Alyssa Spencer did show in the game on Sunday that she was able to at least get back and forth with her good speed.
And a shot there, Harsh just lets it dribble back to Saucel, and Brittany Coons is really almost got by Casey Harsh again there on the long passes and long clears for the Crimson Hawks.
She had a relatively quiet first half, Mike. She was on a couple of the offensive opportunities, taking both of the corner kicks, but as far as on the field's concerned and other offensive scoring chances, Clarion's done a good job in containing her. Again, Coons, the top goal scorer on this team with 15 points, and now she's coming alive here in the second half.
And IUP will take possession. They're on that far sideline, driving in, shot across, and Meg Lawson collides with Tanya Fabian there as Coons looked to, and we have a replay here of that, but Coons looked to cross into Fabian. Meg Lawson getting a foot on the ball and just taking something a little extra there of Tanya Fabian, just trying to wear them down here as they will get a corner kick for IUP. And not a great kick there for the Crimson Hawks. That ball stayed low and just kind of curved right into the heart of the Clarion defense. And a shot right there, and Meg Lawson again with a Tori Picker almost drove in. Meg Lawson getting a good job getting a foot on the ball and muscling Picker off the ball there.
And Lawson did a great job too, Mike, of hitting that off of her legs. And now this time Clarion's able to get a goal kick and kind of stop the bleeding a little bit because IUP was now coming back to Clarion's heels a little bit for them offensively.
And not a great job there trying to gain possession as the Crimson Hawks do. And the ball kept in. Looked like it was going to roll out there by Picker. And cleared out powerfully by Casey Harsh there. IUP still takes possession though. And now we're seeing IUP's really playing a lot more of a game there as Alyssa Katz fell down, and right now that is Kelly Jacobson had a free run on goal, and really Jacobson just muscled Katz off that ball, shielded her well, and we'll have a corner kick here. Coons is going to take that again here, and really we're seeing this match just back-to-back corner kicks here as Coons will take it, trying to set up something for the Crimson Hawks here. And she crosses in, gets a lot better boot under that, and cleared harmlessly away by Kat Warner. And a great job by Kat Warner there to break free, get ahead on the ball, and just get it out of bounds and really mitigate any chance that the Crimson Hawks would have had there to score.
Yeah, and any time that Clarion's had a chance to attempt, they failed to clear, and then they're just killing themselves right now as IUP just getting more and more opportunities.
And Clarion will take possession there off the throw-in. So Jordan Barr will do those duties. But, Matt, what we're seeing right now is we're seeing Clarion just kind of miscommunications, poor passes, and, stuff we thought, early in the season they'd kind of gotten rid of here. But, just some early struggles here for Clarion in this second half, too, as Coach Eaton's really made some lineup changes, and Katie Chambers gives that ball up, too. That was Fabian. And Fabian takes a shot from about 12 yards out, and it goes just wide. And that was Spencer battling in the net there with Kristen Zerby. And Laura Saucel got tangled up and didn't get a hand on the ball. And if that ball was any closer, it would have rolled in the back of the net off the Laura Saucel miss.
Yeah, and I think Spencer had her well contained, but so I'm not sure a reason for Saucel to have come out. Maybe she was maybe thinking of that a bad bounce could have occurred there, but it just went wide of the goal. But if I were Saucel, I probably would have kept my spot a little bit and hope for a good bounce because Spencer had herself contained.
And Kelly Antonucci, and that was Tanya Fabian getting tied up there on the far sideline as Nikita Bonnell has everyone beat. She was looking for the pass, looking for the foot of either Chambers or Antonucci down there as the ball was cleared out and taken now by IUP and just taken out. Clarion will have a throw-in.
Well, what a great pass by Alexa Ream to set that up towards Katie Chambers, but unfortunately Katie Chambers was just well covered and just couldn't finish.
And Alyssa Katz with the ball now, battling, and IUP will just kick it out of bounds and force Clarion to set up once again.
And that sequence of plays right there for Clarion, exactly what they needed, Mike, to kind of to stop the momentum for IUP, and now Clarion with a couple of opportunities right here on IUP side of the field.
And Alyssa Spencer there throwing the ball in and looking, and a pass there just missed the foot of Ream, and coming down the sideline, a great defensive play there by, that was again Meg Lawson. I know we've said her name a lot tonight, but she's been playing incredibly well here, really just to get a foot on that ball, make sure one of her line mates had this player marked and got the ball out of bounds, force IUP to set up.
Well, you know what, Mike? That really shouldn't have happened because Alexa Ream's got to do a better job, especially in all the open space that she had, and stopping the ball and keeping the offensive possession going for Clarion. Just a poor job by Alexa Ream to try and stop the ball and force Meg Lawson to make that great play. But if you're Ream, you stop that, you keep the offensive momentum going for your team. But unfortunately, she was unable to do that.
And IUP taking possession, a couple of long passes we've seen from IUP across the field, and it seems as though they're trying to figure out the Clarion defense. There's Fabian. Pass hits Coons right in the feet, and almost the worst place she could have had. It trips her up a little bit there. Clarion will take possession as Katz finds Chambers, and Chambers clears back for Ream, and Ream dumps it down and long. Bonnell giving chase to it, and Hersick having to come out to that. But I don't think Nicole Miller realized how fast Nikita Bonnell was charging up behind her there. She was just kind of taking her time until Mara Hersick had to come out net and fall on it there.
That just shows, again, the great hustle for Nikita Bonnell. She plays straight to the whistle and then some, and it really showed right there.
And Chambers finds this shot of Bonnell, and Bonnell stops, pops, and looks for Ream.
She should have found a way to get a shot on goal right there. She should not have stopped.
She should have stopped. She had the momentum. She comes out. She's looking for somebody to pass to now. Clarion and Ream with a high crossing shot. And Chambers couldn't get up there in front of the net there as there's a heap of players down. It looks as though Chambers and Hersick is down and hurt on the play. It looks as though she got tied up with Antonucci and Chambers here as we have a whistle.
Well, that was a great cross by Alexa Ream that time, But just going back to how that began, Clarion had that 2-on-1 right there with Katie Chambers and Nikita Bonnell. Bonnell had a good amount of space because IUP's defenders were coming back, and that was Nicole Miller there on the coverage. So if you're Nikita Bonnell, one or two stops, and then you go ahead and get that shot on goal right there, because I think she would have had a pretty good chance on where Mara Hersick was positioned. But still, Clarion was able to recover from that. Alexa Ream with a nice cross with Antonucci and Bonnell right there, and Clarion still maintaining possession until right there.
And Hersick seems to be up. Looks like she might have just got a little bit of a stinger there, but, she pops right back up and looks to be right good to go in net here as Clarion really attacking there deep down in their zone.
And it's Clarion's chance again to kind of start dictating the offensive possession like they had the last couple of minutes, just like they did in the last 15 minutes. But you're not going to be able to do that with the bad pass right there by Ream.
And a bad pass by Ream. Sasso coming very far out of net. They're almost, basically almost out of the entire goal box in general there to play that ball. But her defense wasn't going to, so she decided to take it into her own hands there and try to set up something on the offense there. As Kat Warner dumps it down in, and two Crimson Hawks giving chase along with Katie Chambers there. And again, some good hustle out of players we don't see get a whole lot of time. Bonnell or really any Antonucci, Ventura gets a lot of time, or Chambers really getting a lot of playing time here as Laura Sasso harmlessly clears that away. But Kelsey Fisher got behind that defense and of Clarion and Matt, again, just poor defense and missing marks we're seeing here again in the second half.
And Mike, we talked about the one matchup that we've been looking for today, Meg Lawson and Kelsey Fisher. Fisher back out on the field now for IUP, and Fisher again splits between Harsh and Meg Lawson off a great through ball, and Laura Sasso did a great job in clearing that out. So Meg Lawson's just got to do a better job in containing her man.
13, Nicolette Fonseca.
And Nicolette Fonseca coming back in and giving Casey Reber some chance offs for the Crimson Hawks. So we're seeing the Crimson Hawks going with more of that starting lineup, a little different positioning here and there, as it looks though Fonseca is going to stay in the midfield. She started at forward here for the Golden Eagles, for the Crimson Hawks. And we'll have a throw in on the far sideline right here by Jordan Barr.
And you know what, Mike? 23 minutes to go, under 23 minutes now in the game. Still plenty of time for Clarion to try and get something going. You're still only down by a goal. This is exactly where you want to be. And if you get that, you can try and force this game into as overtime as we get a little bit late in the second half. But you got to be able to continue to maintain some offensive possession and just finish your offensive chances.
And again there with the throw in by Barr, it looks as though Antonucci was looking for Chambers and just too far in front of her, went right to Hersick.
And I would anticipate, too, within the next 5 or 10 minutes that you'll start seeing Mackenzie Stover, Tirza Blackstone really hasn't gotten that much playing time today, and Liz Ventura all come out and get back on the field for Clarion to try and dictate some offense.
And a great stop there by Kat Warner. Poor pass after those, just miscommunication between Warner and Antonucci. But, though, good job getting a foot on the ball and being able to slow that down and prevent the Crimson Hawks from taking possession there as Coons drives in. Coons takes a shot on goal right into the arms of Laura Sasso.
And if Brittany Coons, Mike, has that amount of time, you can't let that happen. Kat Warner's right there. You have to come in there and try and stop her, get a tackle or something, and slow her down. You can't let Brittany Coons have even the littlest amount of space to create any offensive opportunities right there.
And ball goes out. We will have a throw in for the Crimson Hawks. But, Matt, you're just seeing the Clarion back line really just, if someone gets by them, they're not correcting it as easily as they have with other games, as we've seen here. And, again, Coach Ian alluded to this earlier, maybe IUP just a little bit faster than Clarion, and Clarion having a hard time with that right now.
Well, they clearly have a lot more speed than Clarion does, but, if you're dealing with that, especially as a defender, you got to find a way to shield your players and contain your players. It's kind of like the similar position like you would in basketball. And Clarion really has struggled to do that. They've been able to do it at times, and they've saved themselves, but still, they've been really lucky that IUP just hasn't finised a lot of their chances.
Bonnell's got a great breakaway here. She's got Clarion defense, and she probably should take a shot there and just trying to do a little too much there. Chambers does take possession of the ball momentarily, but Clarion had a great possession there as Bonnell had the run in and just probably tried to do a little too much and lost the ball there.
Clarion, though, Mike, does a good job in still retaining possession, and now they can try and get something going here, switch the field a little bit, and try and get some shots on goal.
And Spencer looks to drive in, goes off a Crimson Hawk player, and comes right back to her. And
missed call right there. Alyssa Spencer grabbing the jersey of Michelle Grzinski, and she got away with that.
And that is Kelsey Fisher giving chase there as the ball rolls out on Meg Lawson. And Spencer will have the throw in here right in front of the IUP bench.
Bad decision there by Alyssa Spencer. Just got to let that ball go out of bounds or else she would have another throw in.
And IUP will try to set up with the ball. Nicole Miller, the defender, driving downfield, crossing it in, looking for either Coons or Fisher, and the ball just goes out. And IUP will take possession. And believe Clarion will take possession. They'll get the goal kick here. Thought the official had originally signaled an IUP possession, but goal kick here upcoming for the Golden Eagles. And Matt, you saw there something. Casey Harsh taking the goal kick really didn't get a whole lot on it. He really, for having one of the more powerful legs here on the Golden Eagle team there, and a nice slide tackle by Antonucci at about the 30-yard line out for the Golden Eagles.
It is true, Mike, but again, if you can't settle the belt, no matter if it goes 2 yards from you or 50 yards from you, it's still not gonna hurt you. And Clarion has had a rough time today in settling the ball.
And another example right there goes off Katie Chambers straight to Bonnell, though. And Bonnell gets ganged up on by 3 Crimson Hawks there as they take possession. And her midfielders got to do a better job of helping Nikita Bonnell there.
Yeah, somebody's got to be able to make a run right there, even if it's somebody from the back line, just to try and keep everything moving forward. If you're Nikita Bonnell, you're not going to be able to dribble through 3 different IUP defenders.
And really, she didn't have. And Chambers was too far upfield to really come back and try to help her or anything like that. And Brittany Coons driving in, and Laura Sasso coming out and just pooches that ball right up in the air, but stops any momentum the Crimson Hawks had for the moment, though. Fabian right now with the ball, looking for somebody to pass to, and finds Picker.
And Mike, I like what Laura Sasso's doing, coming out just out of nowhere and just clearing the ball automatically and just stopping any other chance that IUP can have, because it also kind of keeps the ball going towards IUP's end for Clarion, because obviously Laura Sasso, knowing that still down in goal, still need to get some offense going.
And nice footwork there by Michelle Grzinski. Grzinski driving, she finds a Fisher. Fisher drives one in. Meg Lawson went down. I don't know if she got a foot on that exactly, but she had the guard on Tanya Fabian and really prevented Fabian from getting anything. And now Bonnell again driving downfield. Really has no one around her with a white jersey.
And she had Alyssa Katz coming in. I guess Alyssa Katz didn't call for the ball, and if she didn't, you have to be able to call for the ball because Alyssa Katz did have some space coming down the near sideline.
And Tanya Fabian gets past Alyssa Spencer. She's got a breakaway. She's got a shot there. And a shot there. A beautiful save there by Laura Sasso. And Tanya Fabian had the Golden Eagles defense beat. She had a breakaway.
This was a goal, but Laura Sasso does a great job, Mike, and it went off of her shin at the last second. What a great save by Laura Sasso, because that was a 2-0 game right there.
And Laura Sasso did a great job just getting that foot out there. She went down to try to make the save and forcing the corner kick here as they keep it low here. And that is Coons driving, and Laura Sasso again punching the ball out of the net, mitigating again any chance the Crimson Hawks had. They're doing a great job by Laura Sasso to tell her defense, don't worry guys, I've got this, and punch it out. Couldn't clear it exactly, but again here we have a replay of that corner kick.
And the first time too, Mike, that IUP goes short on their corner kick, and then still Coons has this amount of time and nobody's coming straight at Coons. They're still kind of just jogging towards her. If Brittany Coons has the ball, you got to be sprinting towards her. She's the #1 goal scorer on the team. I just don't understand why Clarion is just letting Brittany Coons just run free like that and force Laura Sasso to make another great save to punch the ball away.
And it's just one of those mysteries, I guess, in soccer. And really, if we're listening to here in the field, Clarion really is not as communicating as much as IUP. IUP has been very loud and very vocal here in this game. Clarion not so much here as Meg Lawson misplays the ball a little bit there. And play there, luckily cleared out by Casey Harsh. Tried to clear it out, could not. Fabian clears it in, looking for the foot of Fisher, and it just goes out there. But again, Clarion not able to clear out the ball, Matt. This is kind of sound like a broken record at this point.
IUP is number 38,
And also, too, Mike, there's 15 minutes to go now. I'm still a little bit surprised that Coach Eden has not turned back to Mackenzie Stover, who was taken out, I thought, a little too early here in the second half. Tirza Blackstone, who we haven't seen her at all today. It was interesting that I thought she got the start. She played maybe the first 10, 15 minutes, and we haven't seen her since. So I'm not sure why she hasn't come back into the game. And also Liz Ventura, who's done some good things offensively and also a little bit defensively. She's been playing forward in midfield, and I don't see her coming back into the game yet. You're at that point of the game where this is pretty much a must-win situation. I would think you would have all your top offensive players that have been so far all hands on deck at this point.
Mm-hmm. And coming into the game for IUP is Adriana Costanides here as Nicolette Fonseca will get the break there. And Fabian again now this time it was Alyssa Katz got around her, and Katz recovered enough to force her out and to kick the ball to the side of the net, but still another corner kick coming from IUP. And it's, again, a same song, different verse here for the Clarion defense, just the faster team there. And that time, Meg Lawson got ahead on the ball, didn't clear it out as well as Antonucci having a hard time there against Michelle Grzinski.
And again, just too much space for the IUP defenders.
And a shot there and a cross from the Golden Eagles. And I didn't see who made that cross, but the shot there was Brittany Kuhn. She got by the defender, and we're going to have a replay here shortly. But taking a look there, the cross comes right to Brittany Coons, and she just goes right over Laura Sauce.
And again, Mike, wide open. Alyssa Spencer was about 5 feet from her. You have to be exactly right on top of her. And it finally hurt Clarion, and now Clarion's got a tall order here, down 2 goals with 13.5 to go. Just poor play on defensively, just too much space allowed by the Clarion defense, and they just let IUP go ahead and get that goal at will.
And that was Cass to turn the ball over there. But again, Matt, you see Clarion really not playing their game. They're obviously more of an attacking team this year, not being able to play that game today. And IUP exploiting that as Fabian drops it in. Loris also comes way out and clears it. And if she didn't get that ball cleared, that could have been bad news because she had 2 Crimson Hawks defenders forwards behind her.
And again, Kelsey Fisher beats Meg Lawson. Meg Lawson's really just had a rough time dealing with Kelsey Fisher today. That's about the 5th time that she's let an IUP forward go just right by her without any contest.
And again, we see a little bit of a defensive change and strategy change as Jordan Barr is back on the defensive line here. Casey Harsh just dumps that one in, looking for somebody. Chambers takes it. And Chambers just looking for somebody to pass to. And really, that pass had no meaning, and as Nikita Bonnell trips over the ball there, and a little slow to get up there, but I don't know if that's slow because she's injured or that was stung a little bit or just out of frustration.
I was just about to say, I think it's just clearly frustration because Nikita Bonnell has really played well here today, given it 110% effort. She just has nobody helping her.
And the Crimson Hawks will take possession here about midfield, and Jordan Barr drives it forcefully that time into the legs of a Crimson Hawk defender, but it comes right back to Tori Picker.
And now you see Steph Sikora and Liz Ventura and Mackenzie Stover getting ready to come back in, but I think it might be a little bit too late for Clarion at this point.
And a cross in there by Fisher. Fisher finds the foot of Fabian, and it's just a little too far for Fabian to set herself up there.
So
it goes up.
Liz Ventura, number 30, Mackenzie Stover, and number 6, Steph Sikora.
And as Matt said, Sikora, Stover, and Ventura all coming in. And coming off for the Golden Eagles is Antonucci, Katz, and Chambers. So, again, getting some playing time here. Maybe not the way Coach Eaton hoped that change in forwards had turned out. But, again, down 2-0. He's got to get his top offensive players in the game right now.
Well, Mike, like I said before, if I were coach, I would have put him in at least 10 minutes prior to this. I mean, if it's a 2-0 game with just about 10 minutes to go, it's still you still got to put him in there. But I think this should have been done a little bit earlier because now you're down 2 goals with 10 minutes to go, and the way that it's gone defensively in the last 15 minutes or so in the second half, it's going to be a tall task for Clarion at this point.
Oh, definitely. And Clarion trying to get something set up there. But again, the Crimson Hawks defense, if a Golden Eagle has the ball, they're collapsing 2 and even 3 players down on them and just really smothering this Golden Eagle offense anytime they think about crossing the midfield stripe. And again, Matt, what you're seeing right there is Alyssa Spencer taking a little too much of time, missing Kelsey Fisher, as Fisher comes up and is able to just kind of break up that play there and almost get behind, again, that back line, again with Tanya Fabian here for the Crimson Hawks.
And, Mike, this is something you learn when you're playing, like, when you're 5, 6 years old in soccer. Don't bunch up. And that's exactly what Clarion did right there, unable to get anything offensively going. And then IUP just collapsed everything, and they started to go back the other way.
And we'll have a throw in there by Stover, looking for Sikora. Sikora gets ganged up by 2 defenders. That was Constantinides. And again, Kristen Zerby playing an incredible game there down there. She didn't start, but got subbed in fairly early and has played pretty much ever since there and has been really a headache for these forwards and midfielders for the Golden Eagles.
Her and a lot of other people, we've talked about Coons and Kaminsky, the 2 goal scorers. Grzinski's been big. Kelsey Fisher has had a nice game for IUP.
And cleared out there, and Meg Lawson can't get by. Kelsey Fisher gets by. She's got a breakaway on Laura Sossel, and the ball goes wide off Laura Sossel's hand. And Kelsey Fisher with a breakaway goal there. Meg Lawson just lost her match. She lost in. Again, Laura Sossel getting frustrated herself there as the ball went a little bit low on Sossel, and just kind of, she got a little bit of a, she got a piece of it, but not enough to deflect it away, and it just kind of rolls harmlessly into the back of the net there.
Well, again, Mike, like I said before, Fisher has been a thorn in the side all day for Meg Lawson, and Meg Lawson's just really struggled here today, and it finally broke her in the end for a goal, and again, a goal that Laura Sossel had no chance of saving. Laura Sossel has really been the best player for Clarion here today, making a ton of great numerous saves like she's had the last few games.
And as we roll up on just about 8 minutes left in the game here, Clarion with an almost immeasurable order right now as they're down 3-0 as IUP has come out in the second half and scored 2 goals within about 5 minutes of each other, Matt. And
the game for Clarion is number 14, Melissa Montoya.
As we have some other changes here coming out, Alexa Ream, Melissa Montoya coming back in for the Golden Eagles, and seeing her first.
4, Jamie Beretta.
And Jamie Beretta coming in for the Crimson Hawks. So both coaches just playing a little strategy here as it looks as though, again, Amy Dombrowski getting ready to come in for the Crimson Hawks as well with the next stoppage. And a shot there, and we have a whistle as Constantinides took a shot, and she just kind of got back-checked there as she took a shot from, I believe that was Stover. So we will have a free kick upcoming by Adriana Constantinides here for the Crimson Hawks.
And I understand the frustration, Mike, but still at this point you can't be committing dumb fouls like Mackenzie Stover just did right there, because you just give IUP just more chances like they've had all game.
And they're only about 17 yards out, not a difficult distance. And that one goes off the crossbar. We have a whistle, so crossbar out of bounds. We will have a goal kick upcoming here.
Entering the game for Clarion is
she
13,
just a little bit too high again this time for IUP, Mike, for Constantinides, and this, at least Clarion was able to get out of that hole a little bit. And just in these last 7 minutes or so, Mike, if Clarion can get some momentum back a little bit, just to ride something to end the game on a high note, going into the last couple games of the season, that's all they can do at this point.
And Coach Ian making some changes here, just probably not want to get people injured here, as you said, these some crucial games coming up here. But taking out Kat Warner and Nikita Bonnell in favor of the young players, Alexis Stubenrauch and Courtney 80. So, again, some younger players, some freshmen coming into this game, just getting some in-game experience here as Coach Eating really just trying to get, as you said, any momentum back here for his team.
Yeah, you might as well at this point, Mike. It doesn't look like Clarion's going to be able to come back in this one, so this is the time where you start bringing in some of your bench players, your younger players, and get them some playing time.
And Socorro looking for somebody to go to, really didn't have anybody there, as Montoya will take it here for the Golden Eagles. And Socorro just kind of dumps it in there, looking, I don't know if she's looking for Stover or a cross or something, but really just lets it go out, and the Crimson Hawks will have another goal kick here as they sub in number 26, Amanda Palmer, here
Entering the game for IUP,
for
number 26, Amanda Palmer.
the Crimson Hawks. So really both teams just subbing out, getting their benches loose here. IUP really just trying to kill the clock here and get out of Clarion with the win. As we roll on, about 5 minutes left in this game here, see a little bit of frustration starting to creep in to the Golden Eagles there, going in for shots, a little extracurriculars after whatnot, but I mean nothing to draw fouls, obviously.
You still got to keep your cool, and even as frustrating as it's been for Clarion.
And a shot there by Jamie Beretta goes off the foot of a Clarion defender. They will have another corner kick.
Entering the game for IUP is number 22, Haley Emmerich, and number 33, Casey Reber.
And Emmerich and Reber coming back into the game as they take out, that is Kelly Jacobson. She's played the entire game, and she's had a tough game. She's really played well for the Crimson Hawks there, as she's had to battle against a frustrating player to battle against in Nikita Bonnell.
Yeah, she's done a pretty good job against Nikita, and Nikita's had a good game too. It's been a fun matchup to watch all game long, Mike.
And the score may not indicate it, but this game has been a lot closer than, it seems, as Laura Sasso will take the ball there as the Crimson Hawks were charging in there, and she'll just try to clear it out here and get the Crimson Hawks out of her zone. And Golden Eagles with possession there, driving in. Stover trying to get a foot and just rolled off her foot, I think, trying to go for score. Montoya doing a good job battling for the ball there against Mandy Seminara there and driving in there. And the Golden Eagles will lose possession there on the wayward pass as the Crimson Hawks will throw it in. And Matt, you see there Meg Lawson now matching up against Elena James, and really James not a fast player, more of a taller player there, but still playing forward, and Lawson matching up much better against her now, being muscling her off the ball and keeping up with her speed wise.
Yeah, and she's also a player that comes off the bench, so Lawson hasn't been able to deal with her too often, but she's done a good job with her in the last couple of minutes.
And again, right there, Lawson on James, really just getting her foot on the ball, stopping it, and trying to set up something here as the Crimson Hawks will retreat and try to get going again. As we roll inside 3 minutes here at Memorial Stadium, the score 3-0 in favor of the IUP Crimson Hawks here in, what, as Coach Eaton said, it was one of the most massive games they've had here at Memorial Stadium, and a bad header by Alyssa Spencer there, as that is James driving in, and she takes a shot, goes wide of the goal, hits the net, and there Meg Lawson did a good job forcing her wide.
Number 2, Alex Arnoldi.
And IUP now switching out goalies. Mara Hersick coming out, and the backup goalie Alex Arnoldi coming in for the Crimson Hawks as we approach 2 minutes left in this game. And Matt, you can see it, high five smiles there on the bench for Hersick, as she had a couple of tough shots today, but really a pretty easy day in net for Mara Hersick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Clarion really hardly got any good offensive opportunities. They had 4 shots on goal in the first half, not many here in the second half, and when called upon, Hersick did the job.
But heading forward here, it looks as though the Clarion playing a little more urgency here in the last 2 minutes, trying to just get something and not get shut out here at home on this cold and what is now turned into a rainy day here at Memorial Stadium, as it's still spitting a little bit of rain here. And the ball just kind of pooched in there. Meglos and tried to head it, then realized she couldn't do that, tried to get it off her foot and kind of missed the all in general there. But all in all, a sloppy game. I don't want to say bad, but a sloppy game for the Golden Eagles here. Like you said, missed mark. We said it coming out of the half. Missed marks, poor passes, just not blocking and shielding players
too many,
well
too
there.
many giveaways too, and not capitalizing. I mean, everything basically went wrong for Clarion today, but just giving away the ball like they did to some of the top players that IUP has, and allowing them to play with some of the space that they gave them is just inexcusable.
And that's one thing here as we creep down inside 30 seconds in this game, and IUP just kind of try to play keep away here for the last half a minute of this game. Not doing a good job of that as Montoya takes possession and dumps it in for one last rush here from the Golden Eagles as they're moving almost everybody upfield. And they're creeping down inside. Taking that ball is Beretta.
8,
And we'll have one
7,
final throw in here.
6,
Not to much
5,
avail, though,
4,
as
3,
Crimson Hawks take
2,
possession.
1.
And the clock will hit 0 here, Matt. And the game will end as IUP takes down Clarion on their home turf 3-0 here. And what was a hard-fought game, at times, some ugly plays on both sides for both of them. And really, IUP really coming out with a win here. And the points needed again as they both head in chasing East Stroudsburg for that final spot in the PSAC.
And now, Mike, it doesn't look good for Clarion at this point. Now you're in a situation where you have to win out no matter what, and you're going to need a lot more help now. And the today was their opportunity to jump ahead of IUP in the standings, only 1 point behind them coming into today. Now they're 4 points behind them. And depending on what East Stroudsburg and Shippensburg do throughout the rest of the weekend here, Mike, it's a daunting task for Clarion to come back in and get a playoff spot. But at least they still have the opportunity to finish, to have their best finish in quite some time. So at least they still have that to play for. But playoff chances are looking pretty bleak at this point in the season.
And one added effect, even if they don't make the playoffs, they can still play spoiler to a couple of teams here in the PSAC. Well, folks, that will do it for us here on CUTV. This final is IUP 3, Clarion nothing here as we wind down the soccer season on CUTV. For Matt Catrillo, Alex Kazora, our director, and everyone here at CUTV, I'm Mike Friend, wishing you a pleasant rest of your evening and a happy tomorrow.